Okay, so this is going to be a short video, really fast to kind of check in with you because hopefully you have made a mash, and if you're doing it by hand, it's probably taken you a while to get back to it. But if you're using a paint stirrer, then you are probably well on your way. So one of the things that I did while you were gone was I continued to use my paint stirrer here on my hash, and it has turned into a lovely little mash here. As you can see, the consistency is just like a mash. One of the most important things is to make sure that if any twisty ties got in there, that you make sure you get them out. Hopefully you got them out a long time ago, but if you see any big chunky pieces of stem, you gotta pull those out too. You do not want to rip your bubble bags at all. It can get expensive going through them, so just make sure. And you can kind of see the amount of ice I also have in here. It's quite a lot, and one of the reasons for that is because we are agitating the marijuana trim, the leaves, against the ice itself. Not only is it freezing it, but it's also providing a surface to knock the crystals off of the leaves into the water, which is what we want. And so one of the things that I do is make sure that there's a ton of ice throughout it. You really want to make sure. And if you need some more ice, just make sure you have some on hand. Like I said, I used my mini muffin pan. And you can really never have too much ice in there. I'll use my wooden spoon right now. So I make sure that no matter what, through and through, there's always ice. It is smart to prepare a couple of freezer bags if you have these liter or gallon bags. It is smart to prepare a couple of bags of ice. Like I said, I'm pretty lucky. I'm in Montana right now, and it is winter time, so it's about 2 degrees outside. And so I can take mine directly outside and let it be frozen, solid, really. I can wait until the entire top freezes over and punch holes through it with my paint stirrer. So I have the added benefit of it being freezing cold outside. But in the summer, when it's really hard to regulate your temperature, you want to make sure you have a ton of ice with you for this process, even just one. Okay, so the next thing is how frequently you're gonna come back to stir it. So this is also a big point of debate here. I make sure the first stir, it really gets mashed in there, and so I make sure that I do 2 to 5 minutes with the paint stirrer. If you're doing it by hand, I would suggest a good 15, 20 minutes at least, until your arm gets really tired, unfortunately. Also, this is a great time to have your friend over and help you make bubble hash as you go. You can take turns stirring and everything like that. So what I do is I make this over a 2-hour period of time. I find that I get the highest yields in a 2 to 3 hour window, and I just make sure that I have an awesome video on Netflix or something to go to, and I set myself a little alarms. So for example, this one right now we just mixed up, and we've made this really lovely mash, as you can see. And it is beautiful, and it is sitting right now and freezing all these lovely trichomes off of the leaves themselves. And I'm actually gonna set this outside in the freezing cold, so it does a little bit of the work for me here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set an alarm for about 15 to 20 minutes from now. And in 15 to 20 minutes from now, I'm gonna come back in and give it another stir with my paint mixer for about 2 minutes or so, and then let it sit for another 15 to 20 minutes. And I'm gonna do this for 2 to 3 hours. It's a great project to do when you're sitting at home and you have a bunch of extra trim and you don't quite know what to do with it, and you're sick of making edibles, and you don't wanna give this stuff away, and you wanna honor and use all the plant that you can. So anyway, I just thought I would let you know, and I will check back in with you with a part 3 to this video as we strain it, and I can show you more of what we're looking for as we strain and scrape our bags. So again, that'll be in 2 to 3 hours. I will fast forward through this and stir, stir, stir. If you're going with a wooden spoon, call a friend, have them come over, stir, 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 and agitate, agitate, agitate. and hopefully you can give your arm a rest here soon. I will check back in with you when it is time to strain the bags and do a final stir and trim. And just drain it out. Drain out all this beautiful trim. All right, peace, friends. See you in part 3.